Microphone check 1. Microphone check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good evening and welcome to the Northtown Center of Amherst and the second installment of the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week. Every week this season, Western New York's newest junior team brings you a great Fed hockey game matchup from around the area, and tonight we get to see Williamsville East taking on St. Francis. Alongside camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, I'm Aaron Elper, and happy to bring a bit of our Stampede broadcast to Section 6 high school hockey this season. And our game tonight is a non-division game, but it features a couple of schools that are near the top of their respective divisions. On one side, we have St. Francis, who comes into this game second place currently in the Monsignor Martin Athletic Association, just a point behind the team leading that division, that is St. Mary's. St. Francis' overall record, 5 wins, 1 regulation loss, 1 tie, and an overtime loss. In Monsignor Martin play, they are 3-1-1-1. Red Raiders last in action on Sunday. It was a 5-0 win over Frontier. Senior defenseman Sam Chavetta had 2 goals and an assist in that game, while they got the shutout. Stopping all 18 shots in net was Jack Zukleski, stopping all 18 shots for the shutout on Sunday over Frontier. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice, we have the Williamsville East Flames. They were scheduled to open their 2022 portion of the schedule last night against rival Will South, but the snowstorm in the area obviously forced that game to be postponed. A new date has yet to be announced for the Will East Will South game, but that game will be coming up later on in the schedule. This is the last non-division game then for Williamsville East here tonight. After tonight, it is all ECIC2 matchups for Will East. The Flames are 3-0 in the division overall, and their overall record is 4 wins, 3 losses, a tie, and an overtime loss as well. Flames last in action all the way before the new year. It was between Christmas and New Year's. It was a 3-2 overtime loss at the hands of Sweet Home Depew. As mentioned, St. Francis comes in off a 5-0 win over Frontier. Their coaching staff says outside of just one game this year, a loss to Nichols, the team has played pretty much the way that they want to play this season. Look for the Red Raiders to play with an aggressive style. They like to be on the attack and set the pace of the game. If they're doing that well, expect them to put some pressure on with the forecheck and create some turnovers in the offensive zone. However, it is a group that does like to play with some physicality, so they need to make sure that they keep the discipline as part of their game as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have a team that will lean on its seniors. Williamsville East up front, the captains Caden Cavalieri, number 11, number 9, Peter Nostrant. They lead the team respectively in points with 11 and 10. That goes along with their general leadership as well that they display. Nostrant back in the lineup after missing the last couple of games. Also, some senior leadership on the defensive end for Williamsville East. Seniors Nathan Milk, number 10, Michael Lichtenthal, number 16 on the back end. Coach Mike Torillo says the team really rallies behind its senior leaders and expect the Williamsville East Flames to go as their senior leadership goes. A senior-laden team as well for St. Francis, 13 seniors on that roster, so both teams come into this game with a lot of high school hockey experience, and they'll put that on the line here against each other tonight from the Northtown Center at Amherst and installment number 2 of the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, as we're excited to bring you this matchup here between St. Francis and Williamsville East. 2 teams introducing the starting lineups currently as you hear over the public address announce here in the arena. Starting goaltenders today, starting in net for Williamsville East is number 1, Andrew Jacobson. Meanwhile, on the other side of the rink, number 30 starting for St. Francis, it is Brendan Walzak in net. Battle of the 2 junior netminders here in this contest. It should be a good one as both teams rely on sound defense and good goaltending. Expect to see that here tonight between St. Francis and Williamsville East. About set for the national anthem, and then we'll be ready for puck drop from the Northtown Center at Amherst. And it appears that we are going to forego the national anthem, and we are just ready for puck drop here. Thank you so much for joining us here for our coverage tonight, as it is the second installment of the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week, and we're underway from the Northtown Center at Amherst. Thanks for joining us here on the Buffalo Stampede YouTube channel. Puck in the neutral zone here as both teams battle for possession right in front of our broadcast position. Still right here in front of the scorer's box as both teams trade possession. Finally, Williamsville East getting into the offensive zone. Cavalieri with the puck on his stick on his backhand here. Circles here in the near corner. Brings it back to the point. Shot taken from the near point. That one right in on goal. Shot taken by Ethan Scallione. Pad save made on the play by Walzak. Williamsville East keeping the puck in, feeding it down into the far corner. St. Francis settling it down, look to start their breakout. That pass, however, is intercepted, sent right back down low by the Flames. St. Francis having a little bit of difficulty here gathering the puck in and starting their breakout. That pass intercepted again, comes out in front, shot right in on goal. Blocker save made by Walzak as the first minute almost has been played almost entirely in the St. Francis zone. Williamsville East keeping it in. Hamilton feeding it around behind the net. Cavalieri the first one to it there. Back to the point to Milk. Shot right in on goal. Save made by Walzak as he's been tested several times already in the early going as the puck seemingly has just stayed inside the St. Francis zone throughout the early part of this contest. Finally comes into the neutral zone. Williamsville East just feeds it right back into St. Francis territory, forcing St. Francis to start their breakout again. Finally, they do manage to break through and get it into the neutral zone. Mahoney getting it all the way into the offensive end for St. Francis. Lopez in there on the forecheck, gets away from two different Williamsville East players, feeds it back to the point. Shot taken from there, redirection, shot right in on goal, made by Jacobson, as that shot was taken from the right point by Bryson Roberts. Loose puck just inside the blue line of Williamsville East, comes out to Roberts. He lets a shot go again from the point. That one just went wide. There was a man there looking for a tip or a screen. Max Taylor just barely missed that one off to the side of the net. Comes back to the point. Another shot taken there by Roberts. Another save made by Jacobson as the script of the first shift seems to have flipped here, and the second shift has been spent almost entirely in the Williamsville East end of things. That shot again taken from the point. This time it was grabbed by the goaltender Jacobson. He holds on for a whistle, and we'll get our first stoppage here. And first faceoff coming up inside the Williamsville East zone to the left of Jacobson. Andrew Jacobson coming into this game with a record of 2 wins, 1 overtime loss, and 1 tie. He has a 1.68 goals against average and a save percentage of .934. Number 1, Andrew Jacobson, the junior, in net tonight for Williamsville East. Face off to Jacobson's left. Scrambled there initially off the draw. Finally, Will East does come out with the puck, though. Now they look to start the breakout up the near side. Pass is intercepted, fed right out in front. Shot opportunity didn't materialize there, but it is fed back down low, and St. Francis keeps the cycle going here in the offensive zone. Roche trying to get the puck out of the zone. A backhand shot right in on goal. Jacobson again being tested there with a shot from in close range. Back to the point to Allen. Allen lets a shot go. That one pretty clear look for Jacobson, and he easily made the glove save. Held on for yet another whistle. Both teams making some changes here as we are at the 14:23 mark of period number 1. Still no score yet between Williamsville East and St. Francis. Williamsville East winning that draw. Fed around behind the net. Not out of the zone, though, as St. Francis keeps it in on the far side. Puck comes up to Hamilton. He tries to feed it out of the zone with a backhand. Can't get it any further than the defenseman Higgins, and Higgins feeds it back down low. Now Williamsville East has to try the breakout the other side. Looks like we have a delayed penalty coming up here, however, as the referee behind the play has his arm up. He has not called the play dead, though. The shot is taken quickly right past the goaltender, and it's number 21, Julian Hamilton, ripping that one-timer home, scoring the game's first goal, as it is a 1-0 lead for Williamsville East off the transition play, and it's Julian Hamilton getting the game's first marker on a very nice setup in front of the net, and a great finish there by number 21, giving his team the early advantage here, just about only about 3 minutes into the action so far. It's a 1-0 Williamsville East lead as they made that transition play turn into a goal for them, and they have the early advantage here in the proceedings. And apparently the referee behind the play that had his arm up was signaling for a puck being played with the high stick. Ended up waving that off, obviously, and then Williamsville East took advantage of the opportunity, went down the ice, got the game's first goal, and it's Julian Hamilton with the marker. Puck in the neutral zone. Williamsville East getting it into St. Francis territory. Fed up ice by Chavetta. Chavetta feeding it through the neutral zone all the way to Williamsville East territory, where Milk now tries to work it up ice for the Flames. Sent back into the Flame zone, however, and it's Torres there with some pressure on the forecheck. Torres now gets it back to the point. Shot taken from the near point. That one gets redirected, but that redirection shot goes wide. That shot taken from here on the near point by Antonelli. St. Francis still with the puck in the offensive zone. Puck is then turned over, and Williamsville East gets it out into center ice. And now a scramble for a loose puck right in front of our broadcast position. Antonelli jumps in from his defensive position and sends it down into the offensive zone, where he's got Torres, the first one to it, now in the far corner. Torres getting a little bit of help there from Busquet. As a loose puck just inside the blue line comes back to the point to Allen. He gets it down low to Torres. Torres then back out in front looking for Mahoney there, but he had a man quickly on him, making sure that he didn't have much of a scoring opportunity there. Good defense there by the senior Michael Lichtenthal, making sure Mahoney didn't have more of an opportunity in front of the net than he did there, making sure that he didn't get a lot of time and space to get that shot in on goal. 12:40 now remaining here in first period play. It's a 1-0 Williamsville East lead as the puck comes softly in front of the net, and Jacobson falls on top of it, forces another stoppage in play, and the faceoff will again come up to his left inside the Willie zone. 12:36 now remaining here in first period play. It's 1-0 Flames. St. Francis wins the draw, back to the point cleanly. Shot taken right from there, right off the draw. Andrew Allen letting that wrist shot go, but Jacobson handling that one, covering up for another whistle. Got some good pace to the early part of this game, has slowed down just a little bit here in the last few moments. Eager to see the teams get back out to running like they were in the early going here. Shot taken then from the point, doesn't get through, but it pops out to the side. Almost an opportunity there, but unable to get that shot in was Max Taylor for St. Francis. Puck comes into the neutral zone where Jackson Antonelli sets it up and starts the regroup now. Puck pops up in the air right in between the two benches, ends up going into the Williamsville East bench, where it is retrieved by the backup goaltender Luke Freiling, and he gives it back to the official, and we'll have a face-off right at the center ice dot with 12:14 now left to go in the first. St. Francis looking for an answer to the early goal from Williamsville East. Francis now working it through the neutral zone. Puck was lost there briefly, but they pick it up again and now take it in over the blue line. Getting that puck deep and in towards the front of the net was Roberts, but he didn't have anyone in front. That gives a chance for Williamsville East to break it out, and Scioli gets it across the blue line, but quickly countering in the other direction is going to be the Red Raiders. Through the neutral zone, Roeder gets it up to Sachoki. Sachoki getting it deep into the offensive zone, and a little bit of pressure being put on by Albano. Albano feeds it around behind the net. Milk getting in the way of that one. It all comes out from dangerously there behind the net as it just popped out from the backboards and came right out in front of the net. Luckily for Williamsville East, there were no St. Francis players there ready for that opportunity. Puck comes into the neutral zone, set up there by Cavalieri. And Williamsville East looks to get things going up ice, but that pass goes beyond the mark, and now Chivetta looks to counter. Chivetta then takes a huge hit right at the blue line. Looks like the elbow got up there for number 21, the goal scorer Julian Hamilton. And a hard bit of contact around the head area on Chivetta, as Chivetta seems to be shaking off the effects of that hit. Does seem to be all right, but there's a conversation now going on between these two officials, and we'll see exactly what this call here is, as looked like there might have been some contact to the head. It could have been an elbowing call. Contact to the head has been indicated by the official. So we'll see exactly what the call is going to be. I'm imagining this is going to be 5. Contact to the head often is a 5-minute major, and yes, it goes up on the clock as a 5-minute major against number 21, Julian Hamilton. As Hamilton having a conversation in the penalty box. He's sitting right in front of where we are in our broadcast position. A little bit of a conversation with somebody in the crowd, but he'll be in the box now for the next 4 minutes and 50 seconds. A big opportunity here in the first period for St. Francis to draw even and maybe even take the lead. Antonelli starting up ice for the St. Francis Red Raiders as they have a major power play here. 4:40 now remaining in their major advantage here. Antonelli finally just gets it and set up into the offensive zone, tries to get a pass back to the point. That one doesn't connect, ends up coming out into the neutral zone, and then regrouping there. It's going to be Mahoney. Mahoney across the blue line, gets away from 2 different Williamsville East defenders, then stops in the far corner, setting up that power play, gets it to the near point. Albano getting it back up top. Shot taken there from Antonelli. That one gets deflected and doesn't get all the way through. That gives Williamsville East a chance to clear it the length of the ice. Scioli doing so, sending it all the way in onto the St. Francis net. And the goaltender is just going to cover that one up. Walzak slows things down, allows his team to get some fresh personnel out there. Williamsville East doing the same. And with 4:07 remaining in the man advantage for St. Francis, we're going to have a face-off back in the St. Francis zone. It's going to be Max Taylor on the draw for St. Francis, squaring off there against Roche. And St. Francis winning control, and it's Chavetta setting up behind the net. Chavetta gets it up to Taylor. Taylor now with some speed and some room to work with coming up the near side. Just dumps it into the offensive zone, goes in chasing in after it, but it's Milk trying to feed it out of the zone. Only gets it as far as the point, and Chavetta holds it in. Chavetta at the far point, gets it across, then a quick, hard slap shot taken by Roberts. Looks like it hit somebody just in front of the net before getting in on goal. Taylor now from the far side, feeds it back down low. Roberts has it here on the near side, and he gets it back up to the point to Chavetta. Chavetta to the midpoint to Roberts, lets the wrist shot go right in on net. Great save there by Jacobson, as he had a man right in front of him. Not sure if he had a clean look at it, though, with that screen in front of him, but there was definitely a man there for a rebound opportunity if it materialized. Jacobson made sure that that did not happen. Held on for a whistle. Now 3:28 remaining in the major penalty to Williamsville East. Will East winning the draw, getting that clear quickly down the ice, as St. Francis will have to head all the way back into their own zone to start things again. And it's going to be Roberts setting it up behind his net. Roberts goes around the left side of the cage and then ends up getting a pass back at the blue line. Now feeds it up to Chavetta at the far blue line. Chavetta circles just inside the offensive zone. He's got a little bit of pressure on him here, but he gets it down to Torres. Torres then behind the net trying to find somebody there. Roberts had to chase it down to make sure they kept possession. Torres now off to the side of the cage. Circles around behind the referee in the far corner, then back to the point. Cross-ice pass, that one just in the skates of Roberts, unable to get that one-timer off. Cross-ice pass really set up nicely there by Chavetta as he was looking for Taylor. Taylor just couldn't quite handle it. And the loose puck is retrieved by Williamsville East. They take advantage and clear it the length of the ice. 2:40 now remaining in their penalty as St. Francis tries to catch them in a change. Looks like they had the numbers there up the ice at that quick stretch pass, but unable to stay on sides with Chavetta. They have to regroup into the neutral zone. Now they set it up again. Shot taken from the right point. Doesn't get through as it hits a body. Comes back to the left point. Now Bryson Roberts setting it up. He lets that shot go. That one just misses the far post. Back out to Mahoney now. Mahoney gets it down low. Cross-ice attempt there by Albano. Hits the side of the net. Now back to the midpoint to Roberts. Roberts lets that shot go, but that one's blocked on the way through by Roche. Roche losing a stick in the process. Roberts still with control of it here at the far point. Lets that shot go. Blocker saved by Jacobson. He had a hard time seeing that one through traffic, but he did get the blocker on it. And then a good job of fighting through a couple different players there to get the clear by Lulanich. Minute 45 now in the penalty, as St. Francis starts up ice again with Mahoney. Mahoney right in front of our broadcast position gets knocked off of the puck, but St. Francis maintaining possession. Albano now coming in across the blue line with a little bit of speed. Gets it into the near corner. No, Albano spins there as he gets taken down on the play by the defenseman. Comes out to Allen as he sets it up behind the net. Gets a short pass across to Albano. Albano then looking to go cross-ice, cross-crease to Mahoney. Hit a Williamsville East defender there on its way through. Minute 20 in the Williamsville East Major as Antonelli walks in from his point position and tries to get a shot in on net. Save made by Jacobson. Williamsville East unable to clear it. Kept in by Bousquet. His shot goes high and up over the top of the cage. Williamsville East with a chance to clear it here, but it's two different St. Francis players coming out with possession of that puck as they try to make things difficult there in the far corner on Scallione. Scallione doing an excellent job here battling for possession against these two different Red Raiders. Now a third one comes in, and Willie still maintains possession of it, and they do get the clear. Now just 45 seconds remaining in the major penalty. St. Francis starting up ice yet again, but it's going to be Milk finding a loose puck in the near corner, getting another clear for Williamsville East. This one only as far as the center red line where Chavetta picks it up. Chavetta finds his defensive partner, Bryson Roberts. Roberts has been shooting a bunch already in this major penalty. Gets that cross-ice pass, had a man there, just unable to handle that one and get the shot in on goal was Taylor, but he's got control of it again here. Feeds it up to the midpoint where he's got Chavetta. 15 seconds now remaining on the power play as Taylor fans on a shot from the far side. Now a battle for possession in the far corner. St. Francis coming out of there with it. Torres tries to make a pass, but that one hits a Williamsville East stick and then goes all the way back into the St. Francis zone. And that'll about do it for the 5-minute major penalty against Julian Hamilton. He's released from the penalty box, and the Williamsville East Flames have killed off the major penalty. Chavetta, though, looking to create something just afterwards as he ends up getting taken down, then bumps into the goaltender. A little bit of conversation there coming from the two sides, but it doesn't seem like there's much conversation actually there between any of the potential combatants in any sort of disagreement. And looks like cooler heads will be prevailing And we'll just have a debate as to where the faceoff comes up now with 6:07 remaining here in first period play. Still a 1-0 lead for Williamsville East as they scored the goal earlier on in this period. Number 21, Julian Hamilton, getting that goal, the junior. Hamilton is all over the score sheet so far as he has the game's only goal as well as the game's only penalty, a 5-minute major for contact to the head, but Williamsville East just finished up killing off that penalty. Now they look to maybe gain some momentum from that. Lalanich now through the neutral zone, gets around the defenseman, chases in after it. First one to it, and he's got possession of it, just can't find it in his skates. Now battling against two different St. Francis players for possession. Mendola comes out with it for Williamsville East, feeds a backhand pass in front. That one's intercepted, though. And now a chance to break it out, get it through the neutral zone for Roeder. Roeder's pass, though, is intercepted, as jumping in from his point position was Lichtenthal. St. Francis, though, gets possession in the neutral zone, sends it all the way in. Now they look to set up some forecheck pressure. Pass is intercepted there as Lalanich gets it into the neutral zone. He's got a man on him trying to fight off that check. Right at the blue line now of St. Francis as the two teams jockey for possession. Comes out into the center ice area, and Sharkey picks it up, sends it back in across the St. Francis blue line. Now 5:15 remaining in the first period. Still a 1-0 Williamsville East lead as St. Francis works the puck out of their zone. Roeder gets taken off of that one as it's kept in on the play by Scioli. Scioli tried to get that one in front. He had a man there. Now stepping in from the point position is going to be Pinaro looking for an opportunity. Shot taken right in on goal. Save made on the play by Walzak. He hangs on for a whistle and a stoppage in play with exactly 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Walzak getting his first taste of the puck there after a little while. His team enjoying that 5-minute power play. Much of the time spent in the offensive zone for St. Francis there, so good for Walzak to get the feel for the puck again after a little bit of time not facing any shots. Puck comes into the neutral zone where Lichtenthal tries to move it up ice. Puck now in the skates of a couple of different players. Finally, it's Roche coming out with it. Roche lets a shot go right in on net. Stick save made by Walzak. Now Roche goes in looking for that rebound in the near corner. Puck fed around behind the net. Roberts gets it away from an oncoming forechecker, gets it all the way up ice. And now it's an opportunity for St. Francis to move it forward, but they lose possession of it there briefly. Now Roberts steps in from his point position, takes advantage of Williamsville East's change that was in the process of happening. But he can't get that shot in on goal as he had a man right on his hip pocket keeping that shot from getting in on goal. Two players from each side try to come out with a loose puck here in the near corner. The referee close by watching things, making sure that play continues to move fairly. And the puck then ends up being deflected up and out of play off the protective netting behind that net. And we'll have a stoppage in play. Now 4:07 remaining here in the first period as game has slowed down just a little bit. Coming out of that St. Francis major power play, they had plenty of shots in on goal, opportunities to set up good possession in the offensive zone, just unable to really do anything with it in terms of creating any of those grade A scoring chances. Chavetta taking that shot right off the faceoff. It ends up into the body of the Williamsville East defender, Nathan Milk. And he's shaking off a little bit of discomfort from blocking that shot. He'll head to the bench and get his wits about him. Get ready for his next shift. Now 4:02 remaining here in the first period. Cavalieri winning the draw for Williamsville East. And then started up the far side, but that pass doesn't connect, and Williamsville East will have to start it over again. Stopping there in the corner was Cavalieri. Gets it up to Hamilton. Hamilton's backhand clearing attempt doesn't get out, but he gets a second opportunity to get it out, and that one does succeed. But it does come back right across the blue line again. Williamsville East has to regroup again. This time it does get it in there into the offensive zone. Cavalieri with an opportunity. Shot taken. Rebound chance. Sitting there in front of the net. Scramble for it as Walzak tries to cover it. Finally, Chavetta comes in and clears the puck out of danger. Comes back to the point. Sent back right back down low by Gaeta. As it comes out to the far point, Lichtenthal keeping it in there at the left point. And now walking, it's going to be Cavalieri. Cavalieri goes around one man, comes back to Hamilton. He takes a shot from the dot, right in on goal. Walzak was set up well to that shot, made the save, held on for a whistle. And with 3:13 now remaining in the first period, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for Williamsville East to the right of the goaltender Walzak. Introduced you earlier to the starting goaltender from Williamsville East. Should make sure we do the same thing, though, with his counterpart at the other end, Brendan Walzak. Walzak coming in with a goals against average this year of 2.00, a save percentage of .917 in his 4 games this season. Expecting a good goaltending matchup coming into this one right at the outset. That's what we've seen so far. And St. Francis is going to get another opportunity on the power play as a hooking penalty has been called, and it's Ethan Scallione going to the box for Williamsville East. So another opportunity for the power play of St. Francis to come out and see what they can do here. It was a good penalty kill, however, here in the early going of the first period, as the 5-minute major for contact to the head was taken by Julian Hamilton. Williamsville East, though, killing off that 5-minute major. They'll have to kill off 2 more here if they want to keep their 1-0 lead. 2 St. Francis players in the far corner trying to come out with possession. It's going to be Wicca doing so. Wicca just skates and then settles it down, getting it to Taylor. Taylor now walking it in from the boards. One-time shot taken, pad save made by Jacobson as Roberts let a big slap shot go from the top of the circle. Roberts keeping it in here now at the near point. It's going to be Wicca with it there on the near side. He tried to get it back to Roberts. That pass doesn't connect. And the Red Raiders have to regroup here in the neutral zone. They do a good job of getting it quickly back into the offensive end. Wicca with it just inside the blue line. Gets it to Roberts. Roberts cuts towards the slot. Lets a hard wrist shot go. That one got deflected. It looked like just went up over top of the crossbar. Another shot coming in from Roberts. That one right in on goal. Jacobson making the save. Rebound came out. Another Roberts shot in on goal. And finally then Williamsville East with a chance to clear it. They get it just into the neutral zone, but it's going to be Chavetta looking to come back in right away. Good job there by Williamsville East to get it clear, only getting it to the neutral zone, however. They are going to get 1 change here on their penalty kill unit as St. Francis sets it up again in the offensive zone. It's Torres here. Torres cuts towards the slot, gets it taken off of his stick as Cavalieri slid in to make a play defensively. And then the clearing attempt goes off the skate of Roberts, and then it's into the neutral zone where Mahoney will start it out for St. Francis. 30 seconds now remaining in the St. Francis power play as the cross-ice dump goes into the near corner. Mahoney's the first one to it, setting it up for St. Francis, gets it to Bosquet. Bosquet back to the point, kept in by Antonelli. His shot's taken there, gets deflected late, but just barely misses the far post. Mahoney setting it up on the far side, gets it back to the point to Antonelli. Antonelli's shot then gets deflected by Williamsville East stick and goes wide to the right of the net. Now just 6 seconds remaining on the Williamsville East penalty. That shot taken there from close range. Looked like it went off the pad of Jacobson. And that'll just about do it for the penalty for Williamsville East, as they have killed off 2 different penalties here in the first period. 7 minutes worth of penalties, the major and then the minor. And now they look to get it up ice, but turning it over there, and now heading back into the offensive zone at St. Francis. That pass goes right in front of the net, unable to connect though, as looking for that one was Bosquet. In the other direction now it's Cavalieri. Cavalieri makes a move, gets it deep into the offensive zone, tries to spin and feed a pass out in front, unable to get enough on that pass to get it to its intended target. Now Milk trying to keep it in here on the near side. It does come into the neutral zone briefly, as stepping in to feed it back into the offensive zone was Gaeta. Pass too far for its intended target. Milk has it here for Williamsville East with 15 seconds remaining in the period. Lalanich carries it into the offensive zone as the Flames look for one last opportunity. Backhand shot taken from right along the goal line. Looked like it might have hit the post or pad of the goaltender Walzak. Torres now trying to feed that puck out of the zone to keep another opportunity from being created here in the waning seconds. And St. Francis does keep another shot attempt from coming in on their goaltender Walzak. However, it is the way the first period will end here, with Williamsville East holding on to the 1-0 lead. It was a goal by Julian Hamilton in about the first half of the period that gave Will East their lead here in this contest of 1-0. Then they managed to kill off a couple of penalties throughout the rest of the first period. And after 1 period of play, we have a score of 1-0 in favor of Williamsville East. So we're going to step away here for the first intermission. But we do want to thank you for joining us for the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week. The Stampede themselves are in Massachusetts this weekend at the USPHL Winter Showcase. But they had a good start to the showcase earlier on today. It was an 8-3 win over the Motor City Hockey Club. 4 goals scored by Joe Labruto, the Star Point product. Also a goal and an assist for Max Sipiella, another Star Point product. 2 goals and 1 assist for Parker Bonsignor in the 8-3 win for the Buffalo Stampede over the Motor City Hockey Club. They have another game tonight against the Utah Outliers as part of a 4-game weekend in Massachusetts at the USPHL Showcase. After this, though, the Stampede will be back in town next weekend, and we'd love to see you at our next home game at Cornerstone Arena. We have a pair of games coming up on January 15th and 16th against the Columbus Mavericks. Tickets and more information available on the Stampede website, buffalojrstampede.com.
As Caden Cranston skates it coast to coast behind the net now, drops it back door, and it's 2-1 Buffalo. Miller now looking to create something. Miller chips it to Caden Cranston, backdoor pass, Parker Bonsignor wide open. It's 2-0 Buffalo. Swings it around to the far side now, looking for a pass. He's got Parker Bonsignor back up top to Jace Cranston. Shot, he scores! What a shot there from Jace Cranston.
Cross-ice pass picked off. Here we go again. Looks, shoots, glove save this time. Nate Woods stopped by Romeni. Romeni's made at least 4 or 10 bell saves in this hockey game.
Caden with it on his forehand, makes a move and tries to get wide, and he does so. Makes the move on the forehand, getting it past the goaltender. Loose puck in behind the net. Max Sipiella trying to make a play while on his backside. Does manage to make a play. Now he gets up, gets it in right onto the stick of Joe Labruto, and Buffalo gets a power play goal. We got ourselves a 4-3 hockey game.
And welcome back to the Northtown Center at Amherst as we are getting set for second period action between Williamsville East and St. Francis. And we appreciate you taking the time and joining us tonight. It is the second installment of the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week as Western New York's newest junior team brings you high-quality broadcasts of Section 6 games throughout this season. Tonight's matchup is Williamsville East and St. Francis, two teams coming in near the top of their respective divisions in Section 6 this year. St. Francis, the number 2 team, just a point behind the first-place team in the Monsignor Martin Association. Meanwhile, the other side of things, Williamsville East is second in ECIC Division 2, as both teams get a little bit more tune-up work in as they get ready for the stretch run of division and league play here coming up the rest of 2022. A key matchup here for both teams as they try to make sure that they get things as sorted and ready in order for the rest of the season as they can get. And we are about set to get underway for second period action as it's Williamsville East leading by a score of 1-0. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hello, my name's Aaron Elpern, the play-by-play announcer for the Buffalo Stampede, joined by our camera operator, Jeff Jazarowski, as we bring a little bit of our Stampede coverage to Section 6 hockey this season. Just underway here in the second period, Williamsville East with a 1-0 lead, but the puck is in their defensive end right now as St. Francis is looking to tie things up. Torres with the puck there in the far corner, right in front of the Zamboni door, as it comes out to Wicca now for St. Francis. Tries to cycle it along to his teammate, but is cleared out of the defensive zone by Williamsville East. That one's going to go to the length of the ice, but no icing on the play as Walzak has to set it up for his defenseman. Comes out to the far side. Shivetta with a little bit of difficulty handling it there. Mendola in on the forecheck. As it's going to be Cavalieri trying to create something there, but his pass is intercepted, and now Torres comes through the neutral zone, gains the blue line, and gets it deep. Goes to the bench for a change. That gives Williamsville East a chance to clear it out of their own zone. It's going to be Nathan Milk coming through the neutral zone. Milk into the offensive end, drops it for the goal scorer Julian Hamilton. Hamilton in behind the net, backhand pass there from Milk, tried to get it back out in front. Nobody there though, as Milk retrieves that puck, however, and feeds it back to the point. Some good zone time here set up in the early going for Williamsville East, but the puck ends up being frozen as the net comes off of its moorings. And the referee blows play dead with 15:47 now remaining in the second period. Face-off will be coming up to Walzak's right here in the defensive zone for St. Francis. Williamsville East winning that draw, getting it back to the point. Shot taken through traffic, gets in all the way to the goaltender Walzak, but he handles it, makes the save with the pad, kicks the rebound out toward the corner. As it's going to be kept in the offensive zone here by Williamsville East, only for a moment though, as it comes out into the neutral zone and the two teams jockey for possession. Puck is banked off the glass and back into the St. Francis zone where Allen sets it up. Allen to Antonelli. Antonelli quickly up ice. That pass goes off the stick of Taylor, then into the offensive zone for St. Francis. Taylor now chasing it down right in front of the Zamboni door. Puck gets swung around behind the net. And now an opportunity to get it out of the zone for Nostrand, but his pass doesn't connect there in the neutral zone, and it's going to give St. Francis a chance to regroup and start back up ice. Allen's pass just too far for its intended target, but it ends up in the offensive zone, and a little bit of pressure being put on by Mahoney for St. Francis. Mahoney has the puck on his stick now, comes out from behind the goal line and lets a shot go. That one hits the outside of the post, and Mahoney keeps it going here in the offensive zone, but it's going to be Lichtenthal taking it off of his stick, trying to feed it out of the zone. Comes across to the far side. Now Mendola has a little bit of room to get it out. Mendola takes a hit right in front of the benches, gets it as far as the blue line, but Williamsville East is going to be offsides here on this play, giving a free clear out of the zone for St. Francis. They're unable to take advantage of it, though, as the pass is in the skates of its intended target, going to result in an icing on the play. So the faceoff will come back into St. Francis territory here with 14:29 to go in period number 2. Williamsville East leading this game by a score of 1-0. However, in the first period, it was St. Francis with the advantage in shots on goal. They had 16 shots on goal in comparison to the Williamsville East shot total of 9. However, that discrepancy there in shots on goal probably a result of the difference in terms of power play time, as St. Francis spent 7 of the 17 minutes there in that period on the power play, and Williamsville East did not have a man advantage there in the first stanza. Puck comes back to the point. Shot taken there from the point. It's Higgins letting that slap shot go, kind of a half slap shot. Got through traffic, ended up hitting the post. Now a wraparound attempt from Shivetta is stopped by the goaltender Jacobson, as Jacobson tested there by the leading scorer for St. Francis, trying that wraparound attempt on his forehand. But Jacobson making the stop and keeping that one out of the net to keep his team up by a score of 1-0. 14:04 now remaining here in the second period as Albano tries to win that draw. Unable to win it cleanly, though, as Roche goes back for it for Williamsville East. Feeds it up to the far side, and the Flames get it out of their zone, but they can't keep possession of it. Now it's in the neutral zone as both teams try to find possession. Comes through traffic. Now an opportunity with a little bit of a step on the defense for Williamsville East. Shot taken in on goal as getting in there deep was Scioli. Scioli just had it roll on him a little bit there at the end, unable to get as much on that shot as I'm sure he would have wanted to. There was a back-checking St. Francis player coming back into the play to limit his time there. Walzak ended up making that stop and keeping this one a 1-0 game on a little bit of a broken play that ended up in a scoring opportunity for Williamsville East. Draw coming up to the right of Walzak as St. Francis wins the draw, tries to start the breakout up the near side, but it's going to be Hamilton getting in the way and keeping it down into the offensive zone. Sent in behind the net now. Cavalieri trying to set something up there. As the puck comes around, now Cavalieri feeds a pass from behind the net, trying to get it to Jacobson. That one comes out to the point, and a shot taken there by Scallione ends up in on net. Walzak has to cover that one up as well, as a little bit of time being spent now in the offensive zone for Williamsville East as they attempt to get back into a little bit more of an even playing field in terms of shots on goal in this game. They do have the advantage in the most important category, and that is goals, as they have the 1-0 lead on the first period goal by Julian Hamilton. Puck kept in the offensive zone here by Williamsville East. It comes back to the near point. Kept in the offensive zone by Lichtenthal. Now a couple of different Williamsville East players in behind the net. Hamilton feeds it back to the point as the Flames work the high-low game. The pass comes out to the far boards. Hamilton just chops after it to try to keep it moving in the offensive zone. Got there at the exact same time a St. Francis stick did, so the puck ends up going up and out of play. Referee has to come and retrieve a new puck to put into play, and we'll have a face-off in the St. Francis zone with 13 minutes now remaining in the second period. As both teams complete a change, it's going to be Dimitrov on the draw against Lalanich. St. Francis getting possession of it off the draw, now is trying to start the breakout up the far side. Good play there by the defenseman coming in from his position on the right side. Aiello to keep it in the offensive zone. That shot taken from the point by Mendola gets blocked, but Mendola has it again. Gets it to Lalanich. Lalanich tried that give-and-go play with Mendola, but it hit a defenseman's skate, and that gives St. Francis a chance to clear it, but they can't get it any further than Nostrand, who just sends it back down low again. Puck now just inside the blue line. Nostrand keeping it in, but he can't maintain possession of it. Now a chance to get some numbers here for St. Francis. It's going to be Roberts carrying into the offensive zone. Spins to avoid one man. Shot right in on goal. Save made by Jacobson. Rebound came out, but St. Francis players unable to get to it. And Williamsville East clears it out of their defensive zone. But it's going to be St. Francis with the puck here. Nostrand putting some pressure on in the offensive zone. Takes a little bit of a bump there. Williamsville East creating a turnover here in the offensive end. Puck comes out to Mendola. He turns and fires a shot towards the net. Misses the far post wide. Now a shot taken from the near point through traffic. Ends up hitting the goaltender's stick. Popping up in the air, but Walzak found it with the catching glove and grabbed a hold of it for another stoppage. Now 11:59 remaining here in the second period. Face-off will be coming up to the right of Brendan Walzak as Williamsville East is leading this game by a score of 1-0. Both teams completing changes here as we are just about 5 minutes into second period action. Williamsville East winning the faceoff, getting possession of it right off the draw, but a pass doesn't connect, and now a chance for Taylor to carry it through the neutral zone. Gains center red, dumps it into the offensive zone. Now chasing after it's going to be Mahoney. Mahoney now in behind the net, looking to set up something. He's got some help there from a couple of different St. Francis players, but coming out with that puck is going to be Scallione. Puck comes out into the center of the ice as Williamsville East works it out of their own end. Getting in the way there was Lopez, and Lopez forces the turnover there in the neutral zone. Now Mahoney gets it into the offensive end for the Red Raiders. In the near corner, it's Taylor looking to make something happen. As the puck comes out to Mahoney, lets a shot go from just inside the top of the circle. Looked like Jacobson had a little bit of difficulty with it. Caught it there briefly with the catching glove on the left hand. Unable to maintain control of it, though, throughout the save. Puck ended up popping down onto the ice. Did manage to cover it up, though, before there was really too much of a second opportunity. But a little bit of zone time being spent here from St. Francis as they look to get the equalizer here in period number 2. Face off to the left of Jacobson. It's going to be Cavalieri winning that draw. And looks like he took a little bit of a stick up high, just shaking off the effects of that as he rejoins the play in the near corner. Bumps his fellow centerman. As the puck comes back to the point, now an opportunity for Civetta, makes one move around one man. The second defender, though, takes it off of his stick, and now Cavalieri comes back in the opposite direction. Dumps it in. First one to it is Milk. Milk here in the near corner, getting some help there from a couple of different Williamsville East players, but St. Francis does manage to clear it to the far side. Unable to break it out of the zone, however, as it's back down low for Cavalieri. Cavalieri with two different men on him, still maintains control of it. His pass tries to get it back to the point man, but it hit the referee's skate. Still kept in. Milk takes a shot from the point. That got redirected very late and ended up just missing the near post. Cavalieri now looking to feed it back out in front. He had a man camped out there in the doorstep. Zach Jacobson just couldn't quite get it to him. Walzak covered it up with the catching glove, and timely for him to do so at that time because he had lost control of his stick. So a moment there without the goaltending stick, and smartly Walzak just covered it up and stopped things to get a whistle. But another offensive zone draw is won by Williamsville East, and the shot taken quickly right in on goal by Mendola. Walzak had to make a good stop on that one. But countering quickly, now it's St. Francis. Shot taken from a tough angle there, just missing the near post. It's Roeder trying to create that one. But it's going to be one opportunity and then out for Williamsville East, as there's going to be a delayed penalty coming up as well. As you saw Jacobson following the play out of the zone, heading toward the bench. As heading toward the St. Francis penalty box will be number 2, Connor Sachoki. Referees having a conversation about exactly what this call will be, but at the 10:05 mark of period number 2, we have an opportunity for Williamsville East to go on to the power play here, their first chance with the man advantage tonight. Didn't actually see a call signaled there, but it is a 5-minute major going up on the board. So again, we have the head contact penalty being called, and Connor Sachoki will sit for 5 minutes for St. Francis. So a big opportunity now with a 5-minute power play, as a chance now for the Williamsville East Flames to stretch their lead. It's a 1-0 lead thanks to the goal in the first period by Julian Hamilton. They're looking to now add to it as they have 5 minutes with the man advantage. Setting it up now, it's Milk at the far point. His shot through traffic misses just wide, and it comes out to the near point to Nostrand. Nostrand goes cross ice to Milk as the two of them set it up top on the power play. Lalanich now at the far boards. Lalanich to Milk up top, tries to feed it to Nostrand. That pass doesn't connect, but Nostrand still has control of it here at the near point. Circles to avoid one man, tries to get that shot through traffic. Wicca with a really good block. He took it hard there off the ankle, and he's struggling to get back to his skates, but a good defensive play by number 9, Kyle Wicca, to make sure that shot didn't get through. He heads to the bench to shake off the effects of that block shot as Williamsville East sets up in the offensive zone again. Puck comes in towards the front of the net, but it was picked up there by Thomas Higgins, and Higgins clears the zone, sends it all the way back down to Williamsville East territory. Now 4:08 in the major penalty remaining, as Nathan Milk camps out behind his own net, starts the breakout up the far side. Lalanich stops to avoid one man there and gets it up to Mendola. Mendola now gains the blue line and carries it in, gets it in behind the net. It's a St. Francis player too at first, and Civetta tries to clear, but he can't get it past Lichtenthal. Lichtenthal keeping it in, makes the pass to Lalanich. Lalanich down low to Mendola, then out in front of the net, right in on goal. Shot taken there by Jacobson. Zach Jacobson's quick shot right off the pass from the corner. It looked like it hit the goaltender in the mask, maybe a little bit of the shoulder as well. But Walzak making the stop, keeping this 1-1 game. Will East now breaking it out of their own end again. It's going to be Nostrand getting it up to Hamilton. Hamilton gets it into the offensive zone on his forehand, now looking for a pass as he comes around behind the net. Back to the point, but it's in the skates of Lichtenthal. Settles it down, gets a shot taken right in on goal. Looked like it was hit with a high stick before it ended up in on net. Walzak stopped it regardless of the fact that it was played with a high stick. And the referee quickly blowing the play dead, as the faceoff will be coming all the way back down into Williamsville East territory on the puck played with a high stick. Always impressive to see the puck played out of midair with a high stick, but ends up hurting Williamsville East here in this case, because not only do they lose possession of it in the offensive zone, but they lose the offensive zone draw, and they have to break it out of their own end if they're going to set up their power play again. They do get possession of the draw right off the face-off, and it's going to be Nathan Milk in behind the net, looking to start the breakout. Milk up to Hamilton. Hamilton gets it knocked off of his stick, though. Now an opportunity for St. Francis to get possession of it here. Civetta takes a hit in the far corner, as a couple of different Williamsville East players in there trying to find possession. Battle for a loose puck. Civetta doing a good job of killing off some time in the power play, as the puck is finally fed back to the point. Lichtenthal now setting things up. Gets it down low. As now setting it up there is Cavalieri. Cavalieri fans on a pass, but it comes out in front of the net. Scramble for a loose puck. Cavalieri comes out with it again. Gets knocked down there behind the net, and it comes out to Milk. Milk does a good job then keeping it in. Feeds it across ice where he's got Scioli. Scioli tries to get a pass in front of the net, but a good defensive play by the defenseman number 7, Shveta. Shveta getting that stick down to keep that pass from entering the slot area. Hamilton, though, trying to get a play going here on the power play. As that pass was intercepted, fed into the neutral zone. Milk goes back for it, but he turns it over. Now an opportunity on the shorthand. Shot taken there by Lopez. Cameron Lopez letting the shot go. There was maybe a 2-on-1 if St. Francis was fast there. Just didn't quite develop as quickly as they might would have wanted it to actually get that 2-on-1 out of it. But they do get a good scoring opportunity there for the penalty killers. And Cameron Lopez taking that wrist shot, making sure that Jacobson was paying attention while his team was on the power play. Face-off won by Williamsville East, and Nostrand goes in behind his net to start the breakout. Up the far side, it's going to be Lalanich. Lalanich across the blue line, has some speed as he circles the net. Gets it back to the point. Cross ice now. It's going to be set up there at the far point by Nostrand. Nostrand to Lalanich, but he lost control of it. Williamsville East still maintaining possession here in the offensive zone, though. Shot taken from the far point by Nostrand, goes just wide. Jacobson keeping control of it, though, but only for a brief moment. Couldn't get that pass along to Lalanich, and that gave St. Francis a chance to clear it. Now a minute 25 remaining in the major penalty. St. Francis doing a good job, killing off more time, creating opportunities of their own. Shot taken there by Bousquet. Glove save made by Jacobson as Jacobson plays it to a defenseman, and Nostrand now starts up ice. Minute 11 remaining in the power play for Williamsville East, just a little bit more than 6 minutes in the second period, as Nostrand gets it deep in the Williamsville East zone. Offensive zone, that is. Lalanich can't control it there, and that gives Taylor a chance to clear the zone. Taylor takes advantage of it, sends it all the way back down to Willie's territory, and Jacobson sets it up for his power play there as both teams make changes. 50 seconds remaining in the power play, as some good work here by St. Francis to get possession of that puck. Dimitrov came in and created that loose puck and then ended up getting it back into the neutral zone where his teammate just kind of lugged it around to kill more time. Milk, though, tries to create something in the offensive zone. Loose puck there in front of the net. Save made by Walzak as kind of a dangerous play and being made there. St. Francis ended up bringing the puck back into their own net, then into their own zone, then turning the puck over, giving Williamsville East a little bit of an opportunity there to create something on their power play. Still 20 seconds remaining in the major as Cavalieri comes through the neutral zone. Cavalieri gains the blue line on his backhand, looking for some help, feeds it back to the point to Milk. Milk has a lane, lets the shot go, but plenty of room to see that one, and a pretty easy save for Brendan Walzak as he had a clear look at that wrist shot coming in from Nathan Milk, and he made the glove save, holding on for a whistle. Just 7 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Sachaki, and St. Francis has almost killed off the entirety of this 5-minute major. Torres and Albano on for the draw. Puck comes out to the point and doesn't actually get there. Mahoney going to carry it out, and that's going to be the end of the St. Francis penalty as Mahoney gains the offensive zone, gets a shot in on goal through traffic. It was a stick save that was made by the goaltender, but we have a whistle going back in the neutral zone. As you can see, the St. Francis coaching staff showing exasperation as they're going to get flagged for too many men on the ice here as the player came out of the box and the change was not executed properly. And as a result, St. Francis, after killing off the 5-minute major, they're going to have to go right back onto the penalty kill and kill a 2-minute bench minor. So Williamsville East setting up their power play again. Nostrand at the far point. Feeds a pass along to Scioli. Scioli then can't get it back to Nostrand, and the Flames will have to regroup in the neutral zone. Pass comes up to Pinaro. Pinaro gets it across the blue line. Tries to get a pass into the slot. Now a loose puck here at the near point. Milk coming away with it. He has a little bit of room to set things up. Milk lets a shot go. A little bit of traffic there, but Walzak doing a good job of squaring himself up to the shooter, making that stop as he dropped into the butterfly. Hangs on for a whistle. Now 1:33 remaining in the second penalty to St. Francis, the too many men on the ice call. As a couple of new bodies come out for St. Francis, 2 new defensemen, a couple of new players on the power play for Williamsville East. Puck is dropped and comes back to Nostrand here at the near point. Nostrand slows it down. Gets it down low. Hamilton looking for something. Just took that shot from right along the goal line. Goes right off the pad of Walzak. Still moving in the offensive zone for Williamsville East as it's actually cleared out of the zone. And now up ice. An opportunity. It's going to be Lopez. Lopez makes a move to get around one man. Good recovery, though, by Milk as he ended up coming back to make the play defensively, but his stick broke. Could have been another opportunity there for Lopez to get a second chance in on goal. Unable to do so now, and it's going to be broken out by Caden Cavalieri. Cavalieri gets bumped, gets it to Lichtenthal. Cross-ice pass to Nostrand. Nostrand across the blue line. Angles away from one man, takes a big hit there up against the boards. No call being made on the play as the puck bounces toward the net, picked up there by Bryson Roberts. Roberts takes advantage, clears it out of the zone. Possibly a 2-on-1 for St. Francis here. Into the offensive zone, it's Wicca, gets knocked down on the play, no call, and possibly some numbers for Will East. Up to Cavalieri into the offensive zone, winds up and fakes a shot. Pivots in the corner, feeds a pass back to Hamilton. He lets that shot go off the shoulder of Walzak. And then the whistle goes as the net comes off of its moorings. And faceoff will come up in the Williamsville East offensive zone here to the right of the goaltender Walzak. Just 19 seconds now remaining on the St. Francis penalty. Williamsville East trying to take advantage there of getting the numbers going up ice as St. Francis was trying to convert something there, killing the penalty. Had a couple of guys deep into the offensive zone, ended up behind the puck as Williamsville East tried to get it up ice quickly, unable to take advantage of their numbers though, as they do manage to get possession of it right off the faceoff. That shot attempt by Lelanich doesn't get through a maze of bodies and then ends up coming out into the neutral zone. And it's going to be picked up there by Lichtenthal, but his pass misses its intended target, actually hits the referee, and that keeps it from being icing on the play, and then just barely kept in by Williamsville East as it's right inside the blue line now. Mendola trying to find possession of it. Two players from each side scramble for a loose puck there. Now a big collision right in front of the Williamsville East bench. And then the puck is swung over to Lelanich, and he now tries to carry it over the blue line. Good play by Roeder to knock him off of that puck, but it comes out towards the slot. Roeder keeping possession of it, getting it out of his zone, taking a hit in front of his own bench, keeping possession of it long enough to get it into the offensive zone. Then goes to the bench for a change as Lelanich comes up ice. Team's playing 5-on-5 now. Lelanich tries to go around his man, but good defense there by Chavetta. Puck comes into the neutral zone. Collision there right in front of our broadcast position. No call being made despite the St. Francis bench asking for it. 2:12 now remaining in the second period. Still a 1-0 Williamsville East lead on the first period goal by Julian Hamilton. The long up-ice pass doesn't find any intended targets. Ends up being an icing on the play against St. Francis, so the faceoff will come back down into St. Francis territory. Now 2:03 remaining here in period number 2. Faceoff will be to the left of Walzak. Williamsville East winning the draw. Kind of a soft shot taken there from Milk as he just stepped up from his point position to make sure the puck kept moving forward. There was a St. Francis player trying to get to it as well. Just made sure it got deep into the zone. Ended up all the way in on net, but Walzak made the save and covered up. Williamsville East, though, winning that next faceoff, though, to get possession of it right off the draw again. On the far boards now, it's Scioli trying to keep it moving. Puck is kept in at the point, but a couple of different St. Francis players over there trying to work it out of the zone, Allen and Torres, but Roche is the one that comes out of the pile with the puck, gets it towards the net, then in behind the goal. Wicca now trying to get the breakout up the near side, loses control of it though, and that allows Milk to keep it in the offensive zone. Now a pass from behind the net, fed right out in front as Scioli was looking for a man there in front and just couldn't quite get a shot in on goal as cutting in there was Kyle Roche. Puck in behind the St. Francis net. Now a minute 15 remaining in second period play. Milk keeping it in, but he's got a man right behind him, putting some pressure on that allowed St. Francis to clear it out of the zone. As coming back now is Mobus. Mobus just dumps it in, grabbed by the goaltender. Plays it along to a defenseman. Milk steps in from his point position, takes a shot. That one goes wide. Now a chance for Bousquet to get it out of the zone for St. Francis. And the Red Raiders get into the offensive zone. That shot taken by Wicca just misses the far post. Kept in on the play by Bousquet only briefly as it's played through the neutral zone back into St. Francis Torrey. No icing on the play. As a battle for possession now here in the near corner. Cavalieri comes out with that puck, gets that pass out in front. He was looking for Zach Jacobson right on the doorstep, but there was a St. Francis player right there with him. Jacobson does find it though and lets that shot go off the arm of Walzak. Scramble for a loose puck in behind the net. And coming out of the pile with that one was Antonelli, but Antonelli unable to get that breakout going. Finally getting a little bit of help on the play as it's going to be Lopez carrying it through neutral ice. 15 seconds in the period as Lopez tries to get that shot from the slot in on goal, but it looked like he fanned on it just a little bit. Still an opportunity here for St. Francis. That puck comes right through the slot, right across the goal mouth there, but unable to put it past the goaltender was the forward there on the far side. And Jacobson making that stop before the net ended up coming off of its moorings yet again. So we'll have a stoppage in play and another offensive zone faceoff here for St. Francis before the end of the second period, as they had a little bit of pressure there in front of the net. Looked like they almost had something created, just unable to get it past the goaltender Jacobson as the puck came right out in front of the net a couple of different times, sliding across the goal mouth. As St. Francis created their best opportunity here of the period, as they spent a fair amount of time killing off penalties in the second frame. But the second period will end that way. And at the end of 2 periods of play, we still have the same score we had after 1 period of play. It is a 1-0 lead in favor of the Williamsville East Flames. And it was still that first period goal that is the difference. The 4th goal of the season for number 21, Julian Hamilton, is the only goal that we have on the board so far. We were expecting a bit of a defensive battle with both teams taking pride in the way they play in their own zone as well as their goaltending. And we've only got 1 goal so far to show for it, and it was off a very nice shot from number 21, Julian Hamilton. And it was the only one to get past a goaltender here tonight, and it is a 1-0 score. After 2 periods of play, we're going to step away here for the second intermission, but we'll be back with 3rd period play, so please do stay tuned. It is the high school hockey game of the week, brought to you by the Buffalo Stampede.
as Caden Cranston skates it coast to coast behind the net now, drops it back door, and it's 2-1 Buffalo.
Miller now looking to create something. Miller chips it to Caden Cranston, backdoor pass. Parker Bonsignor wide open. It's 2-0 Buffalo. Swings it around to the far side now, looking for a pass. He's got Parker Bonsignor. Back up top to Jace Cranston. Shot, he scores! What a shot there from Jace Cranston.
Cross-ice pass picked off. Here we go again. Looks, shoots, glove save this time. Nate Woods stopped by Romeni. Romeni's made at least 4 or 10 bell saves in this hockey game.
With it on his forehand, makes a move and tries to get wide, and he does so. Makes the move on the forehand, getting it past the goaltender. Loose puck in behind the net. Max Sibiela trying to make a play while on his backside. Does manage to make a play. Now he gets up, gets it in right onto the stick of Joe Labruto, and Buffalo gets a power play goal. We got ourselves a 4-3 hockey game.
And welcome back to the Northtown Center at Amherst, as we are set for third period action, as it is the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week from the Northtown Center at Amherst. It is Williamsville East against St. Francis. Through 2 periods of play, it is the Williamsville East Flames leading by a score of 1-0. Hello, my name's Aaron Elpern, broadcaster for the Buffalo Stampede, joined by camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, bringing the coverage that we have for Buffalo Stampede home games to Section 6 hockey this year. Excited for our second installment here as we get started with third period play between Williamsville East and St. Francis. As Williamsville East has it in the offensive zone, they get the first shot in on goal of period number 3. That one comes off the stick of Michael Lichtenthal, stopped by the goaltender Walzak. And we now move on to a face-off here in the offensive zone. Quick turnaround shot there by Jacobson, goes off the pad of Walzak as he had to make yet another stop here in the early going of period number 3. Torres picking up a loose puck for St. Francis, just feeds it around behind his own net to Antonelli. Antonelli then gives it to Chavetta as St. Francis looks for a long pass through the neutral zone on the breakout. Nowhere near connecting with Wicca cutting through the neutral zone, goes for icing. But due to the fact that we do play under the high school hockey rules, St. Francis does get to make the change, and they get some new personnel out there for this faceoff coming up in their own end to the left of the goaltender Walzak. Just the single goal scored in period number 1. It was number 21, Julian Hamilton, getting the game's only marker. Assist to number 11, Caden Cavalieri, and number 17, Carter Gaeta. Now a loose puck and an opportunity. Here comes Lopez for St. Francis to the backhand shot and on goal, save made by Jacobson. As it looked like Lopez was trying to get it to the far side on the backhand, but Jacobson stayed with him and made possibly his best save here of the evening. Just under the 16-minute mark here of period number 3 as Chavetta has a lane through the middle of the ice, gets it into the offensive zone, takes a little bit of a soft shot that goes just in behind the net, serves as a pretty effective dump in. And now some offensive pressure being put on there by the St. Francis Red Raiders. Comes back to the point, and the shot taken there by Chavetta. It was a rolling puck, so he got a little bit of a knuckle to it as it went in on goal, but Jacobson made the save, made sure there was no second opportunity, and the faceoff will come up to Jacobson's right. Now 15:37 remaining here in the third period. It's going to be Albano and Lelanich on the draw. Lelanich winning it, but it's going to be set up in behind the net by Roeder. Roeder tries to spin around the far side, get a shot in on goal, just lost possession of it before he could get that shot taken. Sachoki, though, keeping it moving in the offensive zone, getting some help on the forecheck from Roeder. And now Sachoki in the far corner as we are going to have a whistle blown here. It's the official in the neutral zone making the call, and he is signaling a cross-checking penalty. And it looks like this one's going to go against St. Francis. Heading to the box, it is number 14, Daniel Roeder. And it is a 2-minute cross-checking minor that he's going to take. So one of those penalties that coaches never like to see in the offensive zone. It's going to be 2 minutes for cross-checking for St. Francis, and another opportunity on the power play for Williamsville East, as they had 2 different chances in period number 2, unable to convert either of those power play opportunities, even though one of them was the 5-minute variety. They do win this faceoff, however, and set it up with Nostrand. His shot doesn't get through. Good block there by Albano. Set up on the far wall as it's down low to Lalanich. Lalanich back to the point. Now he has a puck on his stick again on the far side. Lets a shot go through traffic. Good pad save made by Walzak, as it looked like Lalanich just tried to take a little bit of a sneaky shot, maybe not trying to catch the defense unawares. Ends up being a pretty good shot in on goal. Second attempt there by Nathan Milk goes up and over the net. That gives St. Francis a chance to clear it. And now a minute 27 remaining here in the man advantage for Williamsville East as they head up ice with Lalanich. Lalanich's pass is behind its intended target, and that allows St. Francis to clear it again the length of the ice. And Nostrand will have to go in. He's got back in behind his own net, but he had a man right there on him, getting a little bit of help from Milk. Now a minute 5 in the Williamsville East power play. Milk up to Mendola at the St. Francis blue line, stops and feeds a pass back to Scioli. Scioli losing control of it there, and that gives Wicca a chance to clear it into the neutral zone. And Milk picks it up now just inside of his own blue line. Has to avoid one oncoming forechecker before he gets it up to Lalanich in the neutral zone. And now Williamsville East into the offensive zone. Lalanich on the backhand to the forehand, just couldn't quite maintain possession of that one to get that shot in on goal. Almost a good opportunity, though, created for number 23 as he'd been out there for a good minute and a half here on the power play, but still managed to have enough gas in the tank there to create a scoring opportunity for himself in front of the net. Lopez intercepting a pass there, getting it up ice. Now a chance shorthanded as it's going to be Taylor carrying it into the offensive zone. Has to deal with 3 different Williamsville East players, and now the Flames come back up ice. It's going to be Lichtenthal. Lichtenthal here on the near boards. Stops and gets it back to the point. Jacobson ran into his own man there. Had a little bit of difficulty settling it down. They do manage to get their power play set up, though, as Lichtenthal has stepped in from his point position to drive in towards the net. Backhand shot taken, and he gets it past the goaltender, Walzak, right as the penalty was expiring. It is a even strength goal scored on the play, but it's going to be Michael Lichtenthal getting the second goal of the game for the Williamsville East Flames, as he carried the puck out of the corner after stepping in from his point position. Had a little bit of a lane along the goal line, just took it all the way to the net and beat the goaltender up top on the backhand. And that has given Williamsville East now a 2-0 lead here in the third period. Didn't quite take advantage of the power play, but it was in the moments just as the power play was expiring. The St. Francis player had just stepped onto the ice when the goal was scored. So it's a 5-on-5 goal, but using that power play to their advantage, as Williamsville East now has a 2-0 lead with 13 minutes remaining. Puck in the St. Francis zone now, in behind the net. A couple of different Williamsville East players in there putting some pressure on as it comes out to the far side. Puck now in the stick of Albano, and he has a little bit of room to carry it around behind his net and come up the near side. Albano has some speed now as he gains the blue line, has it on his backhand. Milk bumps him there to get him off of the puck and makes him go in behind the net. Now knocks him down in behind the net in the far corner. A couple of players from each side trying to find possession of it over there. Roeder gets it to Albano, and now the two of them play catch with it behind the net. Albano then quickly out in front of the net, and nobody able to get to that one for St. Francis, but it is kept in here at the near point by Higgins. Pass into the slot doesn't connect, but a big collision there. The Williamsville East player getting the worst of that one. Gaeta getting hit there in the high slot. And now Roeder has the puck on his stick here up against the near boards. Roeder on his forehand tries to get a pass to his line mate, but a good defensive play there by Scioli to get it out of the zone and gain the red line and then dump it into the offensive end. Scioli now putting the pressure on himself, but Antonelli gets away from it. Gives himself a little bit of space along the far boards to start the breakout. Makes that pass, gets it up just into the neutral zone, but that pass is then intercepted. And back in the opposite direction, it's going to be the Williamsville East Flames with Mendola. Mendola in behind the net, losing control of it. Antonelli taking it off of his stick. Gets it up ice, and he's got Monaco. Monaco then gets it up to Dimitrov, and now St. Francis into the offensive zone as they look to set up here. Bump in behind the net as Kuz was hit there. He still has control of the puck now behind the net. Takes a hit from Lichtenthal himself. Good passing here set up by the St. Francis Red Raiders. Shot taken from the point by Antonelli. That one got deflected late by Monaco, but it went just wide. Williamsville East finding possession of it. It's trying to start it up here on the near side But it's going to be Kuz stepping in to keep it moving in the offensive zone for St. Francis. Lulanich getting in the way of that pass, though, and allowing Williamsville East to break it out of their zone as we are now under 11 minutes to go in regulation. St. Francis dumping it in as they look to put some pressure on here as they're now trailing by 2-0 in this game. Goals in the first period and third period for Williamsville East, giving them this 2-0 advantage. As Nostrant starts it up ice, gets to Mendola. Mendola spins and dumps it in, then heads to the bench for a change, and Lulanich is the one-man forecheck in there for Williamsville East, pestering a couple of different St. Francis players down low and getting a turnover for his efforts, and now it's going to be Hamilton in behind the net. Hamilton takes a bump there, has a little bit of help coming over from Jacobson. Jacobson keeps it cycled down low, where he gets it to Hamilton as he battles against a couple of different Red Raider defenders. Puck comes out in the far corner now as Cavalieri tries to keep it in the offensive zone. St. Francis does manage to clear the zone, get it through center ice, allows them to make a couple of different changes as it's going to be picked up in behind the net by Aiello. Aiello's pass comes up the near side, a little bit slow in developing that breakout, and then Williamsville East has to retreat back in behind their own net. Milk now looking for a pass from there. Has one different St. Francis player on him. A second one comes in to pester him as well, but he gets through all of that, then dumps it in from just on this side of the blue line. It is caught out of the air by the goaltender Walzak, and he decides just to hang on for a whistle as Milk was coming in with a fair amount of pace, trying to follow up on the play, and both teams will execute changes here as we are at 9:39 remaining in third period play. 2-0 is our score. Williamsville East out in front in this contest, getting the most recent goal here in this game here in the third period to give them the 2-0 lead just as the power play was expiring. And now St. Francis is going to be starting up ice as the puck gets across the blue line, but Lichtenthal jumps up from his point position to keep it moving in the offensive zone. Williamsville East offsides here will have to tag up. That's going to give St. Francis plenty of room and an opportunity to get it out of their zone, but that pass doesn't connect, and it's turned right back over to the Flames at their own blue line. Puck taken away by Williamsville East, dumped into the offensive zone by Valone. A couple of different players over there from each side trying to find possession of it. 3 different St. Francis players in there trying to get a hold of that puck. Finally, it comes free and ends up behind the St. Francis net where Higgins will have to start up. Hits a stanchion in the boards, comes dangerously out in front of the net. Quick turnaround shot taken by Valone, goes just wide. Valone has it again, though, tries to get a backhand in on goal, and that one goes just wide on the far side. Puck floated into the neutral zone, grabbed out of the air by Scioli, but it is turned over. Big collision here at the blue line. Torres now carries it into the offensive zone for St. Francis. Good defensive play, though, by Scallione to keep him from getting much further than the blue line. Valone now ahead for Williamsville East. Takes a good hard wrist shot from the far boards. Goes off the shoulder of the goaltender Walzak. And now it's going to be Chavetta starting the breakout, but his intended target there was changing, so it ends up going off the far boards all the way back down into Williamsville East territory, and it's going to be icing on the play with 8 minutes and 12 seconds now remaining in regulation time. And Williamsville East leading this one by the 2-0 score, and they get another offensive zone faceoff coming up here to the left of the goaltender Walzak. Lulanich on the draw against Albano. Lulanich winning it. Screenshot taken there by Mendola. It hit a skate on its way through, however. Williamsville East keeping it in, though. Nostrant battling against 2 different St. Francis players. Albano getting the better of that one, though, getting the pass quickly up ice. He's got Roeder. Roeder has a step, but great defense there by Nathan Milk to get back quickly on the play and to deliver a hit to Roeder there before he could get a decent shot in on goal. Antonelli from his point position lets a shot go. That one's seen clearly by Jacobson all the way through. Makes the save, covers up, makes sure there's no rebound, and we'll have another offensive zone draw coming up for St. Francis. 7:47 now remaining here in the third period. Going to expect to see St. Francis push the pace a little bit more here as they trail by 2 goals, and they're starting to run low on time here in the third period. Good physical play there by Roeder as he lays a hit on Mendola right along the blue line. St. Francis then dumps it back into the offensive zone and now looks to set up some pressure. Roeder doing so, creating a loose puck. Tries to get it down low to his teammate. Just can't connect on that pass to Albano, but it comes back to the point, kept in by Antonelli. A little bit of help as well from Sachoki, and Sachoki keeps it in the offensive zone. Now players colliding here in the near corner. It's going to be Lichtenthal coming out with it, but he takes a big hit there from Roeder. Roeder losing his stick in the process, and that ends up allowing the puck to come into the neutral zone. Sichoki now trying to get around two different Will East defenders here in the neutral zone. Chavetta, though, has it, and he has some speed and a lane. Lets a shot go through a screen, but glove down by the goaltender Jacobson. Tracked that one nicely, made the glove save, despite the fact that the shot came through the defenseman's legs. Jacobson hanging on to that one, holding on for yet another face-off, and he's made every save that he's been asked to here today. Number one, Andrew Jacobson has been more than solid in net for Williamsville East, and he's a big reason why his team has a 2-0 lead. Higgins with the shot from the point. That gets deflected twice on its way through. Doesn't end up getting in on goal, however. And now Zach Jacobson gets it into the neutral zone up to Julian Hamilton. Hamilton sends it into the offensive zone, now putting some pressure on Allen, getting some help from Zach Jacobson again, as the Williamsville East forecheck has been very effective here tonight, creating loose pucks and creating difficulty to get it out of the zone for St. Francis. Shot taken there from the point by Gaeta. That one goes just wide, as there was again a maze of bodies in front of the net. Now an opportunity for St. Francis in the other direction, as Colin Koo's shot goes into the catching glove of Jacobson. Shot taken there from the high slot. Jacobson read it nicely, made the save, covered up. Now 6:21 remaining in the third period. Still the 2-0 lead for Williamsville East. Both teams making some changes here, as the referee here on our side has ruled that the change from Nathan Milk coming onto the ice will not be allowed from Williamsville East. So we'll see if they're able to get him on the ice there, as they were attempting to get a late defensive change there in before the face-off. Face-off is won by St. Francis. The shot taken from the point goes wide off of a skate. Now Roche has a chance to start up ice. Roche's pass goes too far for its intended target, giving the Red Raiders a chance to just send it back into the offensive zone with a little bit more than 6 minutes left in the third period. Clearing attempt doesn't get past the point, kept in on the play. Mahoney keeping it in, getting it down to Lopez. Lopez with a man on him. Some help from Taylor as well, but Kyle Roche is the one that comes out of the pile with the puck. As a player slow to get up to the ice is Lichtenthal here on the near side, as he had gotten tangled up with the St. Francis player in the corner. Lichtenthal taking his helmet off as he skates to the bench, making sure that everything is in order. And he appears to be doing okay, as he gets a little bit of attention from the trainer on the bench. And both teams getting some fresh personnel out there on the ice. We'll have a face-off coming up to the left of Jacobson. It's going to be Lelanich and Taylor on the draw. A little bit of sparring there in front of the net. Referee making sure everybody is lined up to his preferences. And we're ready to get started again. We're at 5:46 in the third period. Williamsville East winning that face-off. Now starting up ice is going to be Lelanich, banking it off the boards, getting it into the neutral zone, but it's going to be Antonelli starting back very quickly up ice, getting it to Lopez. Lopez gets it across the blue line. Mahoney there with him, but we have now a penalty coming up here, as Lopez got tangled up with the man that he was battling for that loose puck just inside the blue line, and he ended up hauling down the man and taking a penalty here. So it's a very timely penalty in a negative way from a St. Francis perspective, as with 5.5 minutes to go here, they're down 2. Had been starting to push the pace of this game a little bit more, spending more time in the offensive zone, and it was yet again another offensive zone penalty being taken, this time a little bit too aggressive there from Cameron Lopez, number 15, and as a result, he sits 2 minutes for hooking, and it's another opportunity for Williamsville East to add to their 2-0 lead. Flames win the draw, but unable to handle there at the point was Nathan Milk, so he retreats back into his own zone, and now the Flames start up ice again. Pass goes off the stick of Mendola, ends up turning into a turnover and giving St. Francis a chance to clear the zone, send it the length of the ice, and now a little bit of pressure being put on here on the penalty kill as Busquets in there. Taken away now by Nostrand as the Flames come through the center ice area, get into the offensive zone as they look to set up their power play. Lelanich circling the net here, stopping then on the far side, getting it down low to Mendola. Mendola backhand pass up the half boards to Lelanich. Lelanich then to the point, shot taken there from the point man Gaeta, easily handled by the goaltender Walzak. Catches it in the left hand and holds on for a whistle. Now 1:16 remaining in the penalty to St. Francis. 4:43 now left in the third period, as the Red Raiders are going to have to kill off the rest of this penalty and then start to generate some offense yet again if they're going to get back in this game. Williamsville East, though, winning the faceoff. Nostrand taking a shot through traffic. It hit a body on its way through and then ended up in the corner. Kept in by Milk. Good play to knock that one down out of the air with the glove. Then keeps it in again there briefly, only for a moment. And finally then St. Francis does manage to get the clear. Roeder putting some pressure on there on the shorthanded opportunity. But Williamsville East getting it up ice. And Cavalieri getting into the offensive zone. But it's turned over just inside of the blue line. And Roeder comes back in the other direction for St. Francis. Good defensive play, though, by Nathan Milk, making sure that Roeder didn't get much further than just inside the blue line there on that offensive charge. And now coming up the near side, it's going to be Nostrand. Nostrand with control of it, gets it up to Cavalieri. Cavalieri across the blue line, drops it back to Nostrand. Cavalieri with two different men on him along the half wall, gives it up and then ends up getting knocked down on the play. St. Francis gathering possession of it, sending it the length of the ice. Now 15 seconds left for the Red Raiders to kill in their penalty. But at this point in the game, Williamsville East is happy to spend a couple of minutes not in their own zone, just making sure that they keep as far away from their own net as they can, protecting the 2-goal lead. 4 seconds now remaining in the St. Francis penalty, as they have successfully killed off another power play for Williamsville East. Williamsville East did, though, manage to get their second goal right after a St. Francis penalty. But St. Francis is the ones looking to create something now into the offensive zone. It's Taylor. Lets that shot go. It just kind of rolled on the blade on him and ended up going well wide before being kept in at the point for St. Francis. Torres keeping things moving there on the far side. Coming in from his point position is Allen. And now a shot from Busquets from the point. That one goes right in on goal. There were a couple of bodies there in front of the net. Ended up going off the stick of the goaltender Jacobson, then up into the air where he caught it. And held on for another whistle. We are now under the 3-minute mark in third period play. Williamsville East still hanging on to this 2-goal lead. And I would expect over these next 3 minutes, St. Francis to really start to push the pace as they look to get the first and second goals of the game here to draw even in this contest. St. Francis has called their timeout to discuss things as they have an offensive zone draw coming up here with, as mentioned, just under 3 minutes to go here in the third period. And you'll have to imagine that the St. Francis coaching staff is imploring its players to get plenty of pucks on net here in the last 3 minutes of play, as the more opportunities in on goal will give St. Francis more chances to go ahead and get back into this game. And we'll certainly start with the right away with the face-off here, as one thing that Williamsville East has done very well throughout this game is winning draws. That will be a key in the next moments here of this contest, as to see who can win this next face-off in the offensive zone for St. Francis, see whether or not St. Francis can start to establish a little bit of zone time. We certainly do appreciate you joining us tonight for the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week. The Stampede themselves are in Massachusetts this weekend for the USPHL Winter Showcase. But do be sure to join us at Cornerstone Arena for our next home games. Stampede facing off against the Columbus Mavericks next weekend, next Friday and Saturday, the 15th and 16th. Tickets and more information available on the Stampede website, buffalojrstampede.com. Stampede winning earlier today in their first game of the USPHL Winter Showcase, an 8-3 win over the Motor City Hockey Club. They play again tonight against the Utah Outliers. Be able to watch that game on Hockey TV, as all Stampede games are broadcast there. But we still have a couple minutes left here from the Northtown Center, as St. Francis is trying to get back into this game, trailing by a 2-0 score. Puck in behind the Williamsville East net. St. Francis with possession of it there, comes out in front off of a skate, unable to settle it down, but back to the point to Chavetta. Chavetta slows it down, makes a pass across to Allen, but we have a player's helmet off here in the slot. It's going to be Michael Lichtenthal, as he retrieves his helmet and heads toward the bench. Play is stopped for that dangerous situation. So we'll have another offensive zone faceoff for St. Francis coming up. 2:27 now left in the third period, as they're starting to push that offensive zone pressure a little bit more, and they have the empty net back at their side of the rink. So it is 6 skaters out there for St. Francis now, as they are trying desperately to get back into this game. Williamsville East, though, winning that faceoff, as they have won plenty of faceoffs here today. Nathan Milk taking that attempt at the empty net, but that one goes wide of the cage to the left, and that results in an icing, and we'll do it again from that same face-off dot on the far side of the Williamsville East zone. Cavalieri and Wicca on the draw. St. Francis winning possession of it, comes out in front, but Jacobson clearing it through the neutral zone. Now a chance for Hamilton there in the offensive zone, but Andrew Allen ended up winning that foot race for it. But off the side of the net now as Julian Hamilton was looking for that empty netter after retrieving that loose puck there on the far side. Albano coming up the near side now, gets it into the center of the ice to Torres. Torres cuts wide, tries to get a shot off, but he's bumped by Milk. Good defense again by number 10 as his presence has been very evident on both ends of the ice here tonight. Puck is kept in at the point by Roeder for St. Francis. Comes out to Bousquet. His pass is intercepted by Cavalieri, and Cavalieri sends it the length of the ice. And this one's going to go for an icing as it ends up all the way back down into the near corner. Both teams taking advantage of the fact that you can change after an icing. So we'll have fresh personnel in both white and red uniforms out there for this face-off. And it's going to be Taylor stepping in for the draw for St. Francis, facing off against Lalanich for Williamsville East. Late change coming in now from St. Francis as they win the face-off, getting it back to the point to Allen. Allen feeds it down low. He's got Sachoki in behind the net. Sachoki back to the point to Antonelli. Antonelli with a man on him manages to get away from him and gets it down low. Mahoney down there gets it along to Lopez. Lopez back to the point, shot blocked on its way through. Good defense there on the play by number 19 as it was Scioli making that block. Now a loose puck in the near corner. Williamsville East doing a really good job of keeping things on the perimeter here. It's tough to score from the edges of the zone, and the Williamsville East defenders are making sure that that's where St. Francis is able to possess the puck right now. Last minute of play in the third, last minute of play in regulation as it's a 2-0 Williamsville East lead. Protecting this lead here with 50 seconds now, and they're doing a good job of doing so as they have possession of it. And Nathan Milk flips one through the neutral zone back into St. Francis territory where Antonelli will have to start back up ice for St. Francis. Gets it all the way up to Taylor. Taylor deflects it into the offensive zone. Now just 35 seconds remaining in the contest as St. Francis is going to have to get some pucks in on goal and do so very quickly. That one does get through. Finds its way through a maze of bodies. Antonelli letting the wrist shot go. It does manage to beat Jacobson, finding the back of the net. And we've got ourselves a little bit more of a hockey game now. 28 seconds left in the third. And the St. Francis Red Raiders are finally on the board. It's a 2-1 hockey game now as they've got the point shot through traffic. Antonelli doing a good job of making sure that got all the way through. Beat the goaltender on the near side. And it's now a 2-1 hockey game. Walzak is back in the St. Francis net, but they win possession of it off the draw, and Walzak heads back to the bench. 21 seconds as St. Francis tries to find that equalizer, but Hamilton finding possession of the puck as he looks to get the empty netter. Sends it in from right around the red line, missing the net wide. Now just 12 seconds to go. Chavetta tries to clear it out of the zone, get it all the way up ice quickly, but that pass is intercepted. Now just 5 seconds remaining as Cavalieri's going to have an opportunity at the empty net. He misses it. But that's how the game will end up finishing as St. Francis was unable to get the puck out of their own zone. And now actually we have almost had something developing there as Cavalieri was juggling the puck and batted it into the empty net after the play. It ended. Looked like that did not go over well with a couple of different St. Francis players. Almost had some sort of altercation coming out of that. Cooler heads prevailing, though, but clearly the St. Francis players are not happy about the show of sportsmanship or lack thereof, in their opinion. As a little bit of a conversation with the referees. We'll see if the referee has anything to report to the scorer's box here, as there's a little bit of a conversation, maybe a couple of penalties there at the closing whistle just to round out the score sheet. Had a couple of penalty minutes in for couple of guys there. Not sure exactly what the calls will be. We'll have to listen and see whether or not anything is announced over the public address system. But either way, that's how our game will end here. It ends up as a 2-1 victory for Williamsville East as they got a goal in the first period from Julian Hamilton. Hamilton picking up the goal at with 13:56 remaining in the first period. Assist on that play to Caden Cavalieri. as well as to Carter Gaeta. And that's how the Williamsville East Flames took the lead in period number 1. Both teams actually ended up having to kill off major penalties. Williamsville East killed off a major in the first. St. Francis killed off a major in the second. There was no scoring in period number 2. But in the third period, it was Michael Lichtenthal getting the second goal of the game for Williamsville East, scoring with 13:15 remaining in the third period. Assist going to Julian Hamilton and number 11, Caden Cavalieri. So 2-point nights for each of those players. Hamilton with a goal and an assist. Caden Cavalieri, the captain, getting 2 assists on the night on both of the goals scored by the Williamsville East Flames. And that's how the final score ends up reading tonight. It is a 2-1 final in favor of the Williamsville East Flames. The St. Francis goal coming there late with under 30 seconds to go, scored on the point shot by number 12, that being Jackson Antonelli. Not sure of the assists yet on that goal, as we've yet to have that updated on our official scoring. But that's how the scoring broke down here in this game, and it was a 2-1 win for the Williamsville East Flames, picking up a big non-division win here as they wrap up their non-division schedule. Nothing but ECIC Division II games left for them. Williamsville East next in action coming up on next Friday, January the 14th. They will be playing at West Seneca East in a ECIC Division II league game as they look to add to their perfect 3-0 record in division play. The St. Francis Red Raiders, meanwhile, they'll be back in action on Monday the 17th. That is their next game as they face West Seneca West. And that game will be an afternoon game on Martin Luther King Day as the St. Francis Red Raiders have a little bit of time off before their next contest as they look to get back in the win column as they face off against West Seneca West in their next matchup. As mentioned, the Buffalo Stampede are out of town this weekend. They're in Massachusetts taking part in the USPHL Winter Showcase. They played earlier on this afternoon, an 8-3 win over the Motor City Hockey Club. 4 goals in that game from Joe Labruto. Goal and an assist from Max Cipiella as well. Those 2 Star Point products putting their mark on the stat sheet in today's win. Also 2 goals and an assist for Parker Bonsignor in the 8-3 win for the Buffalo Stampede over the Motor City Hockey Club. They play again tonight. They are playing against the Utah Outliers as part of a 4-game weekend in Massachusetts at the showcase, but they are back in town next weekend. A couple of home games for the Stampede here in Buffalo next weekend, January 15th and 16th, Friday night, then Saturday afternoon, squaring off against the Columbus Mavericks. If you'd like more information about the Stampede or more information about where to find tickets for that game, be sure to go to our website, buffalojrstampede.com. You can find everything you need to know there about the Stampede, the roster, and as everything you would need to know about the future of the Buffalo Stampede junior hockey program, the newest junior hockey team here in Western New York. Be sure to join us for our next installment of the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week, as we will be updating you on what that game will be through our social media in this coming week, but we're excited to bring you our next Section 6 hockey game as the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week continues throughout the season here in Western New York, following the great Fed hockey that goes on here in the area. Our final score again, it is Williamsville East 2 and St. Francis 1. That's the final from here at the Northtown Center in Amherst. Thank you so much for joining us on the Buffalo Stampede High School Hockey Game of the Week. For camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, I'm Aaron Elpern. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
As Caden Cranston skates it coast to coast behind the net now, drops it back door, and it's 2-1 Buffalo.
Miller now looking to create something. Miller chips it to Caden Cranston. Backdoor pass. Parker Bonsignor wide open. It's 2-0 Buffalo. Swings it around to the far side now, looking for a pass. He's got Parker Bonsignor. Back up top to Jace Cranston. Shot, he scores! What a shot there from Jace Cranston.
Cross-ice pass picked off. Here we go again. Looks, shoots, glove save this time. Nate Woods stopped by Romeni. Romeni's made at least 4 10-bell saves in this hockey game.
With it on his forehand, makes a move and tries to get wide, and he does so.